So let's think about the changes that we need to make in order to be able to support new drawing primitives. So we can start by looking at the code that we have to support the DrawBox itself. So we have the header file right here, and of course we have the implementation file as well. So this is under Fluid project, so we have this set of classes that support our drawing primitives at runtime. So let's start with the header file because it's the easiest place to check what's happening. I think that we can update, of course, the enumeration. We need additional items here to be able to support the text label, the circle and rectangle that are filled. So I just prepared this set of new variables, and sometimes I provide the guidance for the ordinal numbers that are applied to each item in this enumeration, the set of constants that C++ compiler will create. So the new items here is the text, the unique value that we can use to identify text, and the filled rectangle and filled circle. So these are the three new items on this list. To support filled primitives, I think we need to simply redefine the drawing function for them. So if we locate, for instance, in this DrawBox header file, so this is the circle. So I'm expecting that we could use a definition like this potentially. I'm just going to add this right next to the circle. So this is something I think we could use. Use a circle as a prototype, so it may be using everything that circle is doing, and in the end it's just needs to redefine the drawing function. So because it's a filled circle, it'll just do slightly different things when doing the drawing. We can also try here to recycle or reuse the constructor of the primitive circle. For this, we can say instead of defining a new constructor, we could define new constructor for primitive circle filled. But it's also possible, because we're deriving from here, it's possible to specify that we are using a primitive circle as a constructor. So this should allow us to apply the same constructor that we use in our base class to be used with the filled version of the circle. So let's see if this works. And so now pretty much the same idea for the rectangle, which is filled, right? So we can just add another class right here, and this will be the rectangle filled, right? So this will be the rectangle, and we just change the circle name to the rectangle and use this, and also set the comment right here. So these two classes, primitive circle field and primitive rectangle field, will support the new version of the drawing. And I think that our text, the primitive text class, we can add here as a new primitive like this, right? So this is primitive text, derives itself from primitive base, just like all other primitives in our early version of the project. We will keep string class to dynamically manage the label that the primitive should display. And so it needs a constructor which will be taking text provided by the caller, so that our text can be initialized properly. And as with rectangles and circles, we will have the draw function and update function, which also will update the second coordinate when the coordinates are specified for the primitive text. So this is the declaration of the primitive text class, and it's just does a bit like, you know, a few tweaks here and there to adopt the text label. Our function named create primitive, this is the prototype of this function, is very likely going to need another parameter, because it's like a universal function which can return any kind of primitive. In case of primitive text creation, it needs to have the text label as new parameter, and that could be supplied to the constructor of primitive text. All other drawing primitives for now will just ignore this parameter. It will be used only when we create primitive text. I am also expecting that our DrawBox class may have to retain a pointer to the actual input label. So let's add this input label, and I know that the label that we added to our user interface is of this type, FL input. So we'll just add the pointer to this input label right here as well. So the DrawBox has access to input label at any given time. To set this input label, we may need to provide a new function, set input label, and simply pass the label, the pointer, to the FL input box in our main window. So this will be configured at some stage. I'm expecting that our configuration, when we take care of callbacks, will also call a DrawBox and set the input label. And also let's provide a function which will return the current primitive type, because the rest of the application may also need to know what is the current selected type inside the DrawBox. So we'll just return the primitive type from here. So primitive type can be returned by this constant member function getPrimitiveType. So in general, these are the changes that we need to be able to adopt the new functionality required by this new version of the Scratchpad.